It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And we are back here on Katz and Cosby. Joining us is KT McFarland, Deputy National Security Advisor under then President Trump. KT, oh my goodness, you know I'm half Polish, and now Putin is threatening a U.S. base in Poland. Where is this headed?
We don't know. That's the problem. We're climbing up the escalation ladder thanks to the Biden administration, and we don't know where this is going. You know, we are now having American missiles, not fired by us, American missiles fired by Ukraine, going deep into Russia and killing Russians. Now, the Russians have it's like a poker game. I'll see you and I'll raise you one. The Russians are now firing hypersonic missiles into Ukraine and threatening to do so into Poland, a NATO member. Well, what happens if a Russian missile kills an American at the American embassy? The American ambassador in Kyiv has said we should evacuate, shelter in place. You could be killed by a Russian missile. You know, what would happen? What's the national outcry in the United States if a Russian missile killed American citizens? We go nuts. And I think the Biden administration may want that. They're trying to sabotage any ability President Trump has to make a negotiated solution. They don't want a negotiated solution. They want Ukraine to keep fighting and forever, I guess. And as a result, they're just trying to sabotage Trump, but they're playing with fire. They could get us into a war within the next couple of weeks.
KT, I think Putin is much too smart. It's only 55 days till the new president comes on, and he's not going to allow himself to fall into that stupid trap that
Biden's setting or precipitating.
That's my opinion.
Well, and also the Biden stuff is scary, you guys, because Biden, I have no faith in Biden. Do you? I mean, why is he doing this? He's leaving office.
But is he making the decisions or is somebody pushing him? Who is making the decisions?
He's not making any decision. No, but I mean, he hasn't made decisions in years. It's that foreign policy blob, those nameless, faceless, appointed bureaucrats. They were with Obama, and now they're part of the Biden administration.
So it's
and
part
they had
of the
every
Biden.
intention.
Are you saying it's part of the Obama administration?
Absolutely. They're the same people.
This is Obama's third term?
This is Obama's third term, yes.
It's possible. Judge Weinberg?
Katie, I want to ask you about the arrest warrant that was issued by international court against the Prime Minister of Israel, the former defense minister. I mean, how outrageous is that? They have no jurisdiction over Israel. The complaint was made by the Palestinian Authority. It's not a state. I mean, what is that all about, and what are they trying to do?
Well, the international organizations are anti-Semitic and anti-Israel, and this is blatantly in your face. Now, we, the United States, are not signatories to the International Criminal Court. Why? Because we believe that the Constitution is the supreme law of our land, not the International Criminal Court, not some international organization where we cede our sovereignty to some nameless, faceless, global elites who are going to run things. And that's who's done this. The problem is the precedent this sets is that now they can kind of accuse anybody they feel like of war crimes. You know, Bibi Netanyahu, technically, if he goes to one of the 25 countries that are signatories, most of the European countries, for example, if he sets foot, he could be arrested.
Right.
By the way, you guys, did you just see this? This just crossed that Justin Trudeau, of course, who's the Canadian Prime Minister, says Canada will abide by the arrest warrants. So
my God!
I mean, you got to be kidding me. So Canada could arrest the Israeli Prime Minister if he comes to Canada. Are you kidding me?
Trudeau should be arrested for stupidity.
Yeah, he should be. Good point. I mean, that's amazing, Katie.
By the way, we had, who did we have on last week? Former Prime Minister Harper?
Yes, Stephen Harper.
He says that Trudeau's numbers are down in the 20s.
Oh, he loses.
That high?
He loses. He loses in the election. And you know what? The guy running against him, Pierre Poilievre, he is awesome. He's like the Trump of Canada. So good times could happen in the next Canadian election next year.
Yeah. So what happens here? Let's get to this. The fact that this, Trudeau with the 20% rating is saying that he's going to arrest Netanyahu if he comes to Canada. I mean, where is this going to go? I mean, this is crazy.
It is crazy. And technically, I mean, I guess if Pierre Trudeau were president and let's say Bibi Netanyahu changes planes or somehow goes to Canada, is Netanyahu going to really be arrested by Canadian military? Or the Mounties going to come after him? It's just, the whole thing makes no sense. It's just the international organizations, the global elites, flexing their muscles again. Sadly, they are uniformly anti-Israel and anti-Semitic.
You know what scares me is what we were talking about, you guys, at the top of the show. It's like, how much damage can Joe Biden do? Between now, it's a lot of
55 days, 57 days. How many days?
It's a long time.
Too many days.
Too many
days.
I mean, you think about it.
Could be worse.
What is he doing?
He could resign. We can have Kamala for 57
They're already
days.
pushing that. Nate Silver's pushing that today.
Yeah, that's
KT.
right. The pollster. Did you see this? The pollster says he's incompetent, and it's time to put her in there.
Amendment. Yeah, they want to have the first woman president. But I think John made the most cogent point, which is Putin and everybody else knows Trump's about to come into office. It's going to be a very different United States. We're going to be economically prosperous. We're going to rebuild our military. We're not going to get pushed around. I just keep thinking of the picture that they took of Joe Biden last week in Peru, where there was this group of 20 countries, and Joe Biden was relegated like to the back row, and the front row was the Chinese president and the Peruvian president. Now, remember when Donald Trump, they tried to do that to Donald Trump in a European big group meeting in a photo op? Trump just pushed his way, elbowed his way right to the front.
Oh, the French guy pushed him out of the way.
That French guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. I can't wait for Donald Trump to get back in office.
By the way, I'm glad Joe Biden got back from the rainforest. Did you see when after he took the picture, he wandered, the governor's laughing because he wandered back to the rainforest and people are like, where's he going? You know, I was worried he wasn't coming back. You know, I was worried for Joe.
Well, you know, back is a relative term.
Good
well
point.
said, KT.
Good point. Governor Patterson.
So, KT, I was kind of stunned by what you said in the beginning of the conversation. It makes sense. But I had thought the reason Putin did that was that, you know, now that the election's over, he fires off a couple of rockets and then says he's going to do some other things, almost like he was taking a page out of President Trump's book.
Yeah, you mean threatening. Yeah, and I think that, you know, but as John points out, Putin's no idiot. We have the same thing. I was co-chairman of the transition committee for the first Trump administration and was in Mar-a-Lago with President Trump when the Obama administration, with like 10 days to go in the Obama administration, they slapped sanctions on Russia. They didn't tell us about it. They just did it. Now, why did they do it? Because Donald Trump had said, I'm going to negotiate. I'm going to do a deal with Russia. And they didn't want that to happen. The other reason they did it was the setup for the Mueller investigation and the whole Russiagate. So they're just at it again. It's the same trick. The thing is that now I think everybody is really smart to it. And if Putin and all the other leaders, you know, they're all racing to say how much they love Donald Trump. I mean, the Chinese president said, we look forward to really good relations with the United States. Hamas, they said, we would like a negotiated solution. Qatar in the Middle East, this has been housing the Hamas political leaders for years. Qatar kicked them all out and said, well, we really don't want to deal with these guys. Even Russia said, look, we're not trying to undermine the dollar as the currency in which oil trades. So they're all understanding that Donald Trump sharp elbows is about to take office. They don't want to get on the wrong side of him.
Yeah, there's a new sheriff in town.
A new sheriff in town.
They know. I didn't mean to call you Hitler. I didn't mean that. You know.
I was misquoted.
Yeah, I was
misquoted.
Right. I didn't mean that. It is really interesting to see the shakeup. KT, thank you. We love having you here.
Thank you, KT.
Thank you.